For more than 20 years, I've been obsessed with guitars. From playing them, to working on them, to buying and collecting them, I've built quite the collection of awesome guitars. This season I'm going to be going more in-depth, showing you some of the partial builds and behind-the-scenes stuff that I've never shown before. I'll also be answering some of your questions that I've been receiving in the comments below these videos. Of course, I'll be refinishing, refretting, rewiring, whatever it takes to turn these guitars into some real shred machines. This is Trash to Thrash. Hello everybody, welcome back to Trash to Thrash. I'm your host, Mark Murray, and today we're throwing a set of EMGs into a Les Paul. Some would say that's blasphemy, while others, like myself, would say, hell yeah. This is the guitar we'll be working on today. It's an early 2000s Gibson Les Paul Studio. Right now it's equipped with a set of Seymour Duncan pickups, but the owner, Max, wants to switch it over to some EMGs. Max and I have been following each other for a few years on Instagram. He's been watching Trash to Thrash and wanted to send this one in to get some new pickups in it. Like myself, Max is a fan of video games, and when I put the call out to have people send me in some old video game stuff they didn't want anymore, Max sent me a message, said he wanted some work done on his guitar, and had a Sega Dreamcast he wanted to trade in. Later in this episode, I'm going to unbox that Dreamcast as well as some other cool gaming stuff he sent me, and we'll do a little video game crossover. I've been doing a lot more trade-ins the last year or so. People trade in their old guitars that they don't want anymore, and I'll use it as credit towards a new paint job or a new custom build for them. Then I'll turn around, rebuild that guitar, and sell that one. Well, now I'm also doing the same thing, but for video games. So if people want to trade in their old video game stuff, I'll give them credit towards a guitar build, and give them a little discount on a paint job or a rebuild. Some of that stuff I'll add to my video game collection, and then some of it will go in my eBay store. If you want to see a full, in-depth installation of these EMGs into this guitar, I documented it really well, and it's going to be up on this YouTube channel this Saturday morning. So if you've been thinking about installing some EMGs into your Les Paul, this is the perfect video for you, and now you got something to do this weekend. For this demonstration, we're going to be using the standard Les Paul wiring, where this is the bridge volume, the bridge tone, the neck volume, and the neck tone. At this point, if you wanted to rewire the guitar with a different knob configuration, then you could. For example, I like a single volume and no tones because I don't really use the tones. But if you wanted 2 volumes and no tones, or 1 volume, 2 tones, I mean, you could do any combination. EMG actually sends you a wiring diagram that has a bunch of different examples on it. So if you can't find what you're looking for on there, you can probably find it online. Alright, the first thing to do is going to be to remove the strings, which I've already done here. If you have a guitar that you have really like the setup and the action on, you're going to want to tape this piece here into position because this will be removable once you take the strings off. As well as the bridge here, you can just remove it right off the back. It should slide off. This one's not wanting to come off, so I'm not going to force it. On your guitar, if it comes off, you don't even have to take the strings out, but for this one, we're just going to move the strings down to the side here. And we'll coil them up. I would normally replace the strings here, but my customer said that these are new strings and just reuse them. Just to be extra careful so nothing gets scratched, we're going to wrap it in a soft towel and then throw it in a Ziploc. Now we'll remove this back cover. Now that we have the rear control cavity opened up, we want to identify which cable is going up to the pickup selector switch. We have these 2 coming in, which are for each of the pickups, and then we have this gray one down here that goes all the way through the guitar up to the pickup selector switch. We're going to reuse this cable here, but these ones are going to come out with the pickups, then we're going to remove all the pots and the output jack. All this will be replaced with EMG's 25K pots and a stereo output jack. Next, we're going to disconnect the output jack. The next important thing to do is figure out which color is associated with which pickup. So I can see this down here would be the bridge setup, and we have the red wire coming from the selector switch going to the bridge. Now we have the white wire from the selector switch coming up to the neck setup. This guitar has one of these Les Paul shielding plates in it, which we're going to remove because it's not really needed at all with the EMGs. Next, we're going to desolder the pickup wires. So each one of the volumes has a set of pickup wires. This is the bridge pickup setup, wiring going to that pot, and then the neck stuff is all up here. So we're just going to desolder all the wires that are connected for the pickups so then we can remove the pickups. Next, we're going to remove the pickup ring screws and remove the pickups. It's these 4 corner screws. You don't have to do these 2 yet. And if you're going to reuse your pickup rings like we are here, you're going to want to remove these 2 screws now, which are going to set these 2 springs loose, and then remove the pickup. So notice how it's stacked right now. We're going to have to put the spring back inside there when we put the new pickups in. At this point, if you can't distinguish which one's the bridge and the neck pickup, you might want to mark them on the back. These ones are actually labeled with a part number, and it tells you bridge and neck model, so we're going to leave these ones unmarked, but this is a good time to do it if your pickups don't have that. They're also angled, so it gets smaller as it gets closer to the neck and thicker at the bridge. So you're going to want to make sure you keep that right when you put the new pickups in. Alright, for this reinstall, we're going to be using the EMG 81 on the bridge and the 85 in the neck. So it's like a Zakk Wylde style setup. This is also a good time to change your hardware that's going to hold the pickups in, because you can't just unscrew them later without taking out the whole housing. The spring is going to be in there, and it's going to make the pickup fall down, and you're going to have to take out the 4 corner screws and reset it. So if you can match these to your hardware now, that's the best thing possible. EMGs come with chrome or black sometimes, but this guitar has black hardware, so we're going to use black pickup mounting screws, and it's going to make it look really good. Also, now that the screws are out of the ring, get some guitar polish and just wipe them down real good. You'll be surprised how much better they could look. This set came with 1 longer and 1 shorter pickup cable. The longer one's going to go all the way to the neck, the shorter one will go to the bridge. Now another little trick I always do is to put a little piece of tape on the end that's going into the control cavity of each of these cables. I like to use a piece of blue tape for the bridge pickup since they both start with B, and that's easy to remember. Alright everybody, I want to take a minute to let you know that this episode is sponsored by EMG. That's right, EMG. I've been an EMG artist for a couple years now. I've been using their pickups forever. I love EMG pickups, and they've been gracious enough to sponsor my big giveaway that I'm putting on. I've been telling you guys about this giveaway for a little while now, and I'm going to be doing it in the next week. So February 15th, I'll announce the winners, and EMG has donated a set of EMG 81 and EMG 60 pickups. We're going to be giving away brand new set in the box still. Guys, this week is your last chance to enter my big giveaway I've been talking about for the last month. Tuesday, February 15th, that's this Tuesday, I'm going to be pulling a winner and announcing who's going to win all the awesome stuff I've been throwing in the prize package. This week we added the EMG 81 and 60 set. We already had the Lundgren Heaven 77, awesome, one of my favorite pickups for Van Halen style tones. Of course, the SoCal pedal board, painted with the alien blood and the green LEDs. The Guitar Guts signature kill boost pedal made by Goliath Effects. The Guitar Guts signature kill switch made by Iron Age Accessories. And some noiseless springs and a brass block from my friends over at FU Tone. This is a crazy prize package. This is something I would throw in a guitar of mine for sure. And it can all be yours by signing up to my Patreon page. There's a $1 tier and there's a $10 tier. To enter to win all this stuff, go sign up to the CEO tier of my Patreon page. When you go to my Patreon link down below, you're going to see that there's 2 tiers, a $1 supporter tier and a $10 CEO tier. Every month I do giveaways like this for prize packages, guitars, awesome stuff. And to be automatically entered into every one of my giveaways, go sign up to the CEO tier of my Patreon. It's $10 a month, and you also get ad-free versions of all the videos I do, exclusive Patreon-only content, and as patrons, you guys get a vote on what videos I'm going to do for the Patreon exclusive content. Now, if you want to be entered into the giveaway, but you don't have $10 a month, I totally get it. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite set of EMG pickups is. I'm going to choose some of those comments, we're going to mix them up, and throw some of the people into the big giveaway. I mean, this is all awesome stuff that I use, and these are all sponsors that I've handpicked that I wanted to work with. So go sign up to the CEO tier of my Patreon to be entered. Alright, now that the pickups are installed in the guitar, it's time to start wiring it all back up and get it all finished. Next, we're going to remove the volume knobs and tone knobs. So here we have one, the nut is missing. But now let's remove the nut on the other 3. Oh yeah, that one was hardly caught either. Interesting. Now on the other side, we're going to disconnect the pickup selector switch cable that's coming across. Again, make sure you've noted which color goes to which pickup. This whole plate comes right out. We're not going to be using any of this stuff for the EMG install, so this is your little souvenir, your little trophy you could stick up on the shelf to tell people I rewired my Les Paul. Okay, now we have a nice open cavity here. We can install our EMG pots, get our EMG output jack installed into the little plate, and start wiring it up. From this point here, I installed the new pots, and then it's basically connect this wire here, connect the other end there. For the full tutorial on this, it'll be up a couple days after this video comes out. Check the description down below. Chances are it's out already by the time you've seen this. Alright, so it's all wired up now, everything's good. And we're going to put a little bit of foam inside there. You can use the packaging that comes with the EMGs. And we're going to secure the battery so we don't have a battery rolling around or hitting into anything. We don't want anything like that. So we'll put a little bit of foam around it, make it secure, put our back cover on there, and then get this thing restrung. Now, you guys want to see that guitar? Ready for the reveal? Ready to hear how it sounds? Let's check that thing out. Alright guys, now it's time for a little segment I like to call Trash Talk, where I take your guys' questions that you leave me in the comments of the show, and I answer them for you. So if you have any questions about anything you saw in today's episode, or about guitar building in general, leave them down in the comments, and then each week, when I'm prepping for the show, I go through and grab all my favorite ones, and if you're lucky, I'll pull your question to answer. Last week's episode generated a bunch of questions, mainly on two subjects. If you remember, it was the Charvel with that crystal shatter finish, and one of the things that kept coming up over and over was the bridge that I used on that guitar. It was a hardtail bridge, it was very minimalistic and modern looking. It's made by ETS Hardware, available at ets-hardware.com, and they're a German company. I'll link to them in the description down below. The other thing that kept coming up was about the finish. It was that awesome shattered finish, and everybody wanted to know either how it was done or they were giving me answers on what it was. And somebody had left in the comments, Custom Spray Mods did an episode on that crystal finish. They have links to the paint. So I watched the video, there's a link right there. I'll include the link down in the description below if you want to watch that. Basically what it is you paint your base coats on, then you paint this crystallized, actually you spray this crystallized stuff on. It creates those patterns, and then that becomes your mask for the next paint. So then you paint on your second color, let that dry, and all the crystal material peels back off. So it's kind of just making like a masking material, and it looks really interesting. It ain't cheap, it's $85 for a small container of it, but it looks like the way it goes on, you could get quite a bit of guitars out of one container. So of course, I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna show you guys here on the show exactly what it's all about. The next question, if you do not have an overhead drill press, do you have any recommendations or tricks for drilling the holes of your guitar neck? Or do you think I should just bring it to a repair shop / luthier? I think if you're into building guitars and you have quite the collection, You need to learn how to do this, and you need to get some of the tools. If you've ever been to Harbor Freight, you know that they make really affordable tools that look professional and look really nice, but a lot of them tend to be cheaper. They tend to break and not last as long. If it's something you're not using every single day or using very heavy duty, I recommend grabbing a Harbor Freight one. So if you go there, for 80 bucks, you can get a benchtop drill press. I say it's definitely worth it. To get those holes straight is important. I don't really have any tricks for using a hand drill because I don't use a hand drill and I don't recommend that you do. If you can, find someone who has a drill press and just borrow their, bring your guitar over to their shop, drill a couple holes. I recommend picking one up though. Next question. What kind of paint do you use? Spray paint specifically for wood? I'm wanting to try my hand at this. So most of the time, probably 85% of the time, for my colors, I use Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover. It's a paint and primer in one. I love this stuff, by the way. Rust-Oleum is not a sponsor. I've reached out to them and tried to get them on board, and they don't want to, but I love this stuff, and it's great. It's got good coverage, it's very affordable, and it's consistent, so you can get it online in bulk. You can go down to the local hardware store and get it, and they have a lot of different colors, different sheens. Seems like good stuff to me. I've been using it for 5 years or so, and yeah, I'm impressed by it. So just the regular Rust-Oleum 2X. Sometimes I'll use Montana Gold for some of my neon colors and for other things. And then I also use Montana Crackle. And then there's even times I'll use Duplicolor Perfect Match, which is auto paint. And they have a lot of really cool metallics and things like that. Next question. Do you make guitar cases? I used to make guitar cases upon request. Now I'm kind of limiting it because I've been so busy. Me and Ryan have both been so busy working on guitars that we don't really have time to build cases as much. Cases take a ton of time. They actually cost a lot in material to build them too. So I wasn't really making anything on them. When we do make them, I kind of break even because it's a nice presentation to build a matching case and have the certificate of authenticity. It looks really cool and impressive when a custom guitar comes with all that stuff. But unless we're doing something real special, a super custom guitar, and the case is going to kind of match the theme, like we have one coming up like this, where we're building a crazy cool coffin looking case. We're going to make it look like a real vampire coffin. That kind of stuff is cool, but with the price of cases from the manufacturers, $100 to $200, it's hard to do it for less than that and make any money on it. This next one's not a question, but I thought it was really cool. Haven't got any questions, but I want to thank you for making these videos. Because of you, I got a set of Goto locking tuners, my first ever mod, even if it is an easy one, and they are really great. Somebody responded. I also got some Gotos today and put them on because of him. It's a nice upgrade from the factory tuners. I think that's so cool that people are starting to mod their guitars because of this show, so if you guys are doing that, let me know in the comments. I like hearing that. Another thing I thought was really cool that I saw in the comments was people going through and answering other people's questions. I really don't have time to go through and answer questions in the comments all the time because there's just too many of them. It would take me a full day every single week to be answering the comments, so that's kind of why I'm doing this segment, is so I can grab a couple of the ones that I see a lot of people asking over and over, or some of the more unique ones that I've never answered, and then I can bring them on here and share it with everybody. So if you're educated on this stuff, if you watched all 35 episodes of Trash to Thrash so far and you know your stuff, I encourage you to go answer people's questions in the comments. I think that's super cool that the community is coming together to help each other. Alright guys, those were some good questions. If you have any that you want me to answer, leave them down in the comments and I'm going to go through and grab some for next week's episode. So now let me show you a little bit of the video from my retro gaming channel about me getting the Dreamcast from Max. This is me opening up the box and there was all kinds of other cool stuff in there, so I thought this was cool to show. Alright guys, I just got something really cool in the mail today. It is from a guitar customer of mine. As you guys know, I also work on guitars. You can see guitars in the background of all my videos. That's my main job, is customizing people's guitars and building awesome custom shop guitars. So this is actually from one of my guitar customers who sent this in to me in exchange for switching out his pickups for him. If you guys want to send me anything, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com. I'll put that down in the description below. And we can arrange something if you want to donate to the channel or whatever. I love video game stuff and guitar stuff, so send some stuff my way. So let's check out what's in the box. First off, we have the power cables. It looks like the power and the video cables for the console that's in here. We got a letter. So this is from Maxim. Maxim is a guy I've known on Instagram for at least a few years now. We followed each other. He's a guitar player. I think he lives in Florida. He wrote, Mark, I threw in some extra goodies just in case you wanted them. Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One games? No way, dude! If not, I'm sure you can find someone who wants them. Also, I wanted to give you these Spurzl locking tuners, as I have no use for them anymore. They are in perfect working condition, just have some very slight corrosion on them. Perhaps you could paint them or find a use for them on an episode of Trash to Thrash. Max. Dude, Max! Thank you. Oh yeah. Spurzls are high quality tuners. They're locking tuners. They're chrome. That's awesome. Thank you, man. So first of all, this is the thing that I knew he was going to be sending. A Sega Dreamcast. I had a Sega Dreamcast probably in 1999 or whenever they came out. I had one for a little bit. I also had it hooked up because I had my own phone line in my room for a little while, and I actually went online with like Net Zero. I think that's what it was. Wow, this is cool. Here is a AV to HDMI. So okay, we got two Dreamcast controllers. The Dreamcast memory card, man. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. This is really dope. We got two Dreamcast games in here. We got Sonic's Adventure and Sonic's Adventure 2. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2? Are you kidding me? Dude, Max, you hooked it up, man. That is awesome. Tony Hawk is like one of my favorite games. Wow, look at this. Fallout 76. So this must be like a special edition. It's in like a tin. Okay, so we got one 360 game. We got Halo Reach. There's a bunch of Halo games here. So we got Halo Combat Evolved. We got Halo 2. And we got Halo 5 Guardians. Wow, this is so cool, man. We also have Fallout 4 for Xbox One. Sonic Mania Plus. We got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles right there on the cover. NHL 19. And Destiny 2. Man, look at all this awesome stuff. Max, thank you, dude. I was not expecting all this. This is really cool. I'm excited to put all this stuff to use. Very excited to play the Dreamcast. Can't wait to find out what I'm going to do with those. Just awesome stuff, man. Look at all these games. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps out, helps us get boosted in the YouTube algorithm. Leave your comments down below. If you guys have any questions about guitar, leave them down below. I'll grab some of those questions and answer them on Trash Talk at the end of the episode next week. Next week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Crackle and more Les Pauls, so be sure to tune back in. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. There's a handful of ways that you can help support Guitar Guts and Trash to Thrash, and here they are. Number 1, share this show. Take a screenshot of the show and share it on your social media. Tell your friends, go check out Guitar Guts and Trash to Thrash at guitarguts.tv. Tell people about the show. It really helps me out. Number 2 is to join the Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you could join the Patreon page and get ad-free versions of all the videos I do, plus some Patreon exclusive content. For $10 a month, you can get entered into the CEO tier, where I do a monthly giveaway of a guitar or like a huge prize package. So for $1 or up to $10 a month, you could donate at my Patreon page. The links are down in the description. Number 3, go buy a guitar. GuitarGuts.com, I have the link at the top for guitars for sale, and I have guitars, my kill switch pedal, Guitar Guts kill switches on there, all kinds of cool stuff up in the Guitar Guts store. So if you want to help support and get something back, you can go buy something from there. Number 4, go subscribe to my retro gaming channel. It's another YouTube channel where I do video game reviews, and I go game hunting, and I collect 80s and 90s memorabilia, Power Rangers, Pokemon, Ninja Turtles. I mean, you can see all these video game stuff that I have behind me. I love this stuff. So go follow me. My links are down in the description. There's also a second Instagram page that's linked up with it. If you guys were into all this old kind of stuff and you want to get back into it, send me a message and tell me what systems you're looking for. I can help you find one. I buy and flip systems all the time, and I come across all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for something or you want to get back into this stuff, let me know. I'll hook you up. And number 5, if you want to support Guitar Guts and Trash to Thrash, be sure to be subscribed to this channel. Hit the like button on this video. Leave your comments down below. Even if it's just a one-word comment, that's going to help me in the YouTube algorithm kind of move up. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time a new video comes out. Now let's get back to the show.